First of all, I want to show what are we expecting. Okay, so let me share my screen. Feel free to stop me if you have questions. All right. So this is the demo project I did a month ago. Okay, if you remember that, if I run this one here. Okay, so this is a local host. I click on this, and that's the $5 lunch um, application. I type five and search for food, and then it give me these options. If I go 15, and then we get more options. Last time we also implemented a feature to upload images, and then you also have an admin portal, all right, where you could add and edit all this backend food. That's where we had last time. Remember, everything is generated by cursor. And then we also use the MongoDB as a database right here. So it does connect to the Mongo cloud. Okay, that's where we have here. This one. Okay, it's already connected. So now everything is working. Okay, let's say this is my first version. But you guys cannot visit it yet. Okay, because right now it's all like in my own machine. I can figure out my IP address, but most of the like home IP address or you use at a school, it's not really publicly available. So there are a lot of configuration. Most likely you cannot really deploy this like others to try this one. So we need a more professional, more public server that everyone can access. Instead of having this local address, we need to show something more, professional DNS or server address so everyone can access. That's the goal. Okay. So how do we run our application from a local machine to a server? So that whole process is called deployment. So not going to give details because I did have those videos in the assignment description. You should actually try to watch those. I have some slides there. But this demo today, I'll try to make sure everything is short and concise. Okay, so you know what we're looking for, and then you go back to your project, you got to figure out the right way to do it. Okay, so the first step is that we need to get a server. Okay, so there are a lot of cloud services. Okay, so for this assignment, I highly strongly recommend everyone sign up an AWS account and use AWS. I know there are a lot of other options you can do. A lot of you probably did Vercel. A lot of you did on render. Sometimes you use Azure, Google Cloud, those. But at the end, the cloud computing, Amazon, AWS, that's basically the biggest market share, and they create a lot of new things. I think no matter what, you gotta understand the AWS first, okay? Then you can switch to others, okay? Anyway, so every team should have an account, sign up, and then when you sign up, you should have uh, a credit card put there. But I think for this project, you should have the free tier, so you don't really need to pay for it, but you do need to put a credit card as you start to use this. Okay, so once you sign in, and then you're gonna have this console uh, portal here. Okay, so this lecture, guys, I'm gonna speed up. Okay, I won't explain too much because all the details you can find in the other video. Okay, in the assignment. So anyway, first step, I gotta choose the region. We're in California. I'm gonna choose the California region so that closer to us, so the server will be faster. And I'll go to this EC2 section. The EC2 is their server service that you can, pretty much run servers. Okay. And then you go here, there's nothing running here, but I can start a new instance. I will launch it in an instance. Okay. And I'll just do just by default Amazon's Linux server. Again, I'll try to do this very fast. Okay, CS 4800. I'll give a name, Spring 25. Okay, I choose the server, and this one just remain the same. And then the instant type is very important because that determines how much you're gonna pay. So different server have different configuration, and you go all the way to the top. There are very giant server like 96 CPUs, 192 gigabytes memory. That's gonna cost $5 to $6 per hour. Where you have a very small ones like this nano ones, that's the cost very, very little. Okay. This one, it sounds like a free tier. So that's probably the one you should choose. Okay, I'm gonna stay with this one. And the next one is that you need to create a key pair. Um, so let me just create a new one. Okay, Spring 2025. Um, just create that one. Make sure you save this. Okay, make sure you put this one in the folder. Normally we put this one in home folder. Let's create those in folder. All right, I'll put my key there. Okay. So all of this step I'm doing there are specific tutorials for you to follow. And then this security checking settings also basic controls where people can visit it. Okay, I'll leave as default. The hard drive default 8 GB should be enough, and that's it. Okay, I'm gonna launch this instance. Just try to do this very quick. All right, and then once the server is on, let's go back. Let's see where that is. This one is the new we're creating. Okay, it's already up and running. So they really made this very fast. Okay, a lot faster than before. Okay, so once this one is running, well, let's try to log into the server. Okay, so there's different way you can log in. So one is you can right click in here, you can connect. I think they have their own like portal right here. You can just connect in the browser. Okay. And you can see this is a Linux server. Okay, you can run everything. Again, I'm just demoing this one really fast, okay? Because if you want to know more about those details, feel free to just use some other sorry, look at the other videos, okay? This portal actually generally works. However, this portal there is a limitation, which is that if you want to upload some files over, for example, right now, what I need to do is I want to copy all my files from here, okay, over to the cloud, right? So I don't know if there is a way for us to upload the files. At least maybe it's not that easy. So if not, then we probably just need to use some of the local servers, sorry, local client. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so this browser-based terminal is okay for you to check the server, but it's not easy for you to copy all the files because what I need to do now is that I have all the source code. Okay, I can run it locally here with Python, but now I need to run everything in the actual cloud. Okay, so I need to copy those files over, and to copy those, okay, so you need to know how you do. How could you actually access this locally here? Okay, I'm gonna demo a different way. So remember I already did the key, okay? So what you want to do now is that you go here, this one here, SSH client, and then this one talks about how you can connect to the server from your local computer using SSH like a client. Okay, so you already have the key. That's the key we created earlier, and you need to run this command to make sure this key is private. Um, all right, and then you can actually start access it, and then they actually tell you what you do. This is a command that you can use to access your EC2 instance. I do yes, and then I go to the same server. As you can see, this one right now here, you see it, is the same as the one I'm showing you here. They are the same thing. Okay, it difference that this is in the browser, this is local. When I'm doing that locally, I can do a lot of command. I can interact with my local files. Okay, so that's the difference. All right, so let's take a look. All right, so once we have this, all right, and then the first thing to do is I need to transfer all my files over, okay, from local to the target machine. So let me try to create a folder here, okay? I'll try to make a folder that's going to be called, I'll call it, uh, you know, $5 lunch. Okay, I'll create a folder right here. And now I'm gonna coming back to my local computer. So let me find my project. My project is at workspace. Okay, CS 4750, and then it's the $5 lunch project. Okay, so all the files are here. Okay, so I have this one main Python file, a static file, some set templates file, which, sorry, static file has the images, and the template file has all the front end pages. So basically, I need to copy the whole thing over. Okay, uh, to do the copy from local to the remote. Okay, the other video I did more examples, but you use this command called SCP, called a secure copy. So what you do is that you copy SCP dash I. First of all, you provide the key, the password to the server, and then you say what you want to copy. And I'm gonna copy everything, and then I'm gonna put it to my target server, which is this provider server address. Okay, and now I'm gonna copy that over to um like a $5 lunch folder, something like this. Okay, let's give it a try. If I do this one and they copy one file, but that's a folder, that's a folder. Okay, but let me first verify if the files are transferred over. So I go back to my browser, like right here. So I go here, you can see, oh, there is a, oh, I think I somehow I doubled. Did I spell, oh, I spelled wrong. Okay, so, but anyway, if you look at this one, there is a Python file. And then if you see this Python file content, that's the same one as I have in local. So basically, I'm moving all the files over. Okay, but now I just need to figure out how do we copy the whole the whole folder, everything. Okay, I think there should be some parameters. Let me just search. Okay, um, how to SCP all the subfolders. All right, okay, dash R. Okay, let's try that one. And I'm gonna fix this one. I'll then do the dash R. I think that should be coming from here. All right, so all the files are transferred. Let's go back to the other one. Since I have another terminal open, I can try to look at it here. I think I move it back here. All right, so as you can see, guys, all the files over. Okay, these files are the same as the ones I have here. Okay, all the same. All right, so that's the first step. Okay, because now I don't need this one anymore. I just stop it because I just need to run it right here in this Python program. Okay, so now in order to do that, well, we're going to do Python. Okay, now first thing you find the Python is not even installed. Okay, so we need to install Python. Okay, so install Python in Amazon Linux. A lot of software you need to configure first, otherwise you cannot really run it. Okay, so let's see what they do. There should be some yeah, they have a different version. Okay, I'll just use the local. Okay, local seem to be faster. Okay, once I go on my server, I'll just run this to look at all the possible Python distributions. They have a lot of those. Let me see which Python version I am using right here. 3.9. Then let's just do a 3.9. No, they don't have 3.9. And then I'll just do Python 3 and see what they provided. Wait, Python 3 already installed? Oh, okay. So they have Python 3. Okay. So the Python 3 is here. And then what about the pip? Okay. The pip is not here. Let me remove the other one. Okay. So now with Python, we can actually run this project. Okay. But as we start to run this one, a lot of dependencies are not there. We don't have it. Okay. So that means we actually need to install the dependencies. But then this time it's a little tricky because we need actually a lot of those. I think we need a Python with all of this, Mongo and function and all of those, right? So as you know that uh, for uh, for Python project, you could use something called requirements file to configure all the dependencies. I don't know if you did that in the assignment 4 or 5. I think it's 4. Okay, so we should actually first of all generate the dependency files for this project. Okay, so let me see how do we do that. Okay, I don't use that very often. Okay, so how to generate a requirements txt file for existing Python project. Yeah, I think they do this freeze um, command. Okay, so let's try this one here. Okay, so pip3 freeze and then generate requirements. Okay, so this file here, wait, it only does this too? I don't know if it's related with the external libraries or we're not using uh, the virtual environment. Okay, so okay, so how to generate the file from Python? You see if there are any options here. So I do remember they have some functions. Okay, right here. Let me go here and it says there's a button, a project, interpreter, and there's this geared bar button. So this should be the ones we already installed. I don't know if there's a way we can export this. So anyway, let me try this one more time. Okay, so if not, then that's okay. We are just going to focus on the deployment itself. Okay, so all right. So I'm not going to play around too much with this dependency part here, but because this one it doesn't really need that much dependency, I kind of already know what to do. Let's just install those one by one. So right here in this server. Okay, so as once again, I'm gonna run this. It doesn't have this dependency, so we gonna do pip install and Flask. Okay, that's one. All right, and then you come back to run this project again. They don't have the iMongo, and then we'll just install it. All right, now let's run this again. And now it's go. Okay, so not too bad. It's only like two, it's just two dependencies, but I was trying to figure out a better way to manage this one. Okay, now this thing is up and running. Okay, so when you are running this on the server, okay, so let's go back to see the server. Let's find out the address. The server address is this one here. Okay, that is the this is the public IP4, and that's the domain name. Wait, they changed. Oh, this one, this one. We normally use this one. So if I run this and I go to 5,000, okay, so that's the port we're running. I think right here is still 5,000. However, if you actually see this kind of thing, you type is no response. Normally, you gotta go back to check the security because very likely they did not open the port for you. So right now you can see the inbound, so coming traffic, they only open 22, which is for the SSH. And if you want to just add more, let's see where I think we'll go here, and then we're gonna add it to rules. We just add one more. And in fact, I will just open all the traffic. Okay. Okay, just anywhere. So with this, then let's come back here. So it's okay here. Let me change this one, make sure this is not a cause, okay, because this is generated by cursor. Okay, this also controls who can actually visit it. But let me save. Let me run this again. Okay. All right, yeah, I guess that was a cause. Let me try and go back here. And I do 5,000. And then now the server is running. So what I changed was this. Okay, so this one, it was a debug. It's only for local. Okay, so if you change that into host 0000, that means you allow everyone to visit your server. So this 000 IP address means anywhere. Okay, anywhere people can visit. So that's what I changed. And then once you have this, that you can see now, this one is running here on the server. So it's actually the same database because the data are all saved in MongoDB. If I send this link to you, you should be also be able to, visit it. Okay. So that's how we do the deployment. Okay. It's you don't do anything new in coding, but you're basically running your application from local and all the way to the cloud. Okay. And then there's some configuration you can do. I also showed that in the video that, for example, right now this is 5,000. Okay, I don't want to see this 5,000 because it doesn't look very professional. So what do? You do a port redirect. Okay, so let me show you. Yeah, Mark, my database is in a Mongo Cloud. I don't know if you were in the class. So this is the database. Okay, so it's in the cloud, so I don't have to deploy that separately. So the Mongo cloud, they are hosting that for us. Yeah. All right. So I'll suggest you don't deploy your own database, okay? Because not only it's an extra step, but also it's not reliable. You know, they're gonna manage this one. They have free tier. All right. Yes, and then yeah, I was gonna show you the port redirect. Okay, let's go here. So how to redirect my EC2 server port five from 80 to 5,000. All right, let's see if they have some good command. All right, I'm gonna try this, see if it works. So stop this server, run this. Oh, they don't have the IP tables. It's not a very good one. Maybe we need to. So they all need IP table. Okay, so let's do the installation. Install IP tables. Okay. Yeah, they used to have this too. Okay. So now let me try this. All right, if I did that, I'm gonna run my project again. So this time I go to the server. Okay, so this one's still running, but if I don't do this, I just leave a default, it also works, guys. So this is what you want. Okay, at the end, the domain name shouldn't just be have a port. See, what I do right now is you don't have to specify that 5,000 port, although the application is still running at the 5,000. What we do is that if you give that IP table configuration, whoever is visiting by default, which is the port 80, it will be transferred to to the 5,000. So that's the fact you see. Okay, right now then the server is up and running. Okay, all right. Yeah, so that's the whole deployment process. Okay, this week you guys gotta try this one as soon as you can. Okay. Also, I told in the video in the operations, I also talk about how you can run this command more permanently, because that way, if I terminate the terminal, your application still be running. So normally, what we do is we do something called no hope. This command. Oh, this is also not here. Interesting. This Amazon stuff really changed a lot. Maybe I'll just search to see better way to run Python. So how to run a Python Flask server. Um, stably similar to the usage of no hope. Yeah, that's the one I will go. Okay, so we'll figure out how do we install the no hope command. Okay, so it looks like that's the way. I'm gonna do this one. Oh, sorry, they have this one, the missing operand. Sorry, yeah. So no hope, Python 3 app, and then you gotta direct all the things to the file, and then you run it in the background. Okay, if you do this command, see there's nothing shows up. You can still do other things, but the server is already up and running right here. If you run it, it's still working. Okay, go to admin. Yeah, I actually forgot the account. Okay, I see if the sign up still works. What do I? This is something about my home internet. I don't know about uh, the AT&T stuff. Yeah, this is very annoying. Let's try this. Okay, so maybe there's some kind of security thing we didn't follow very well. Then they consider us as a kind of a phishing site. But anyway, so that's okay. Okay, I won't do that one. But this function here is running. Okay, so this is called deployment. Okay, to summarize, okay, deployment means that you got your cloud server. Step two, copy all the files over or whatever format you need. Sometimes it's a jar file, sometimes it's just source code. And then you run it in the cloud. You configure all the things you need so that people can visit it anywhere using that URL. That's what you need to do for deployment. And I try to show everything as quick as I can. I want to show you the core steps. There are a lot of small steps I did. You probably got very confused. Why do you do the YAML install? Why do you change that hostings? Those are very specific to the Python Flask. If you're not using that, you may not have that issue. But then the major process steps are the same. Okay. I think again, I have the videos that shows more details on this. You might want to follow up on that one. I think I did a better job on that one. But this one, I just want you to know what you need to do for the assignment so that you have the some ideas. Okay. So I think these videos, this one talk about deployment, and then this one talk about the next one, which is continued integration. And this one talks about some of the operation stuff that the no hope. Okay, all the three things are very important, guys. You gotta spend time to watch this. Okay, all right. Any questions so far? Okay, so any kind of a web application you've been using, you're seeing that all follow the same approach. Okay, once again, the AWS is the most famous one, so you really want to know this one. Okay, I know there are some other services. I know like things like on render. This one helps you can deploy your Python here a little bit easier. Okay, you connect to your GitHub, everything done. Yeah, that's true, um, but you still need to know the fundamental, like how do you manage a server from scratch? I think that will be always helpful. Okay. Now, next, I want to show you the continued integration part. That part, I can't guarantee everything will work because that actually takes a little bit more efforts to do, but I will just show you the steps. But the video gave you um, all the details. Okay, so let me find. Let's actually check in your project first. Okay, so I'm gonna create a repository. Alright, so I'm gonna turn my project over. I'll exit this one. That this is my local folder. Okay. All right. So I will just actually while I'm doing that one, let me actually change my requirement because we already know what to do for those. Um, for the Python requirements, exe Flask. Okay. Okay, so maybe I do need to activate it. Let me try this one. Okay, I want to activate. So I would just write uh, something here. Okay, so we'll do this one already here. I don't quite get what this means. Um, I don't know. This one too here. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to just I want to just turn this into get. Okay, wait. So there are a lot of things we shouldn't actually check in. Statics are fun, templates are fun. These are very specific to the, that's okay. I'll just focus on the continuation part. Okay, okay, so do this. All right. Okay, guys. So this one here, I already checking the code. Okay, so you guys already done this one. It's nothing really special. As we talk, one of the lectures we're talking about the continuous integration. Okay, which is that as we work on a team, you constantly pushing code to the change to the repository. Once you had done with that, normally we'll go to our server. Okay, to update everything. Okay, and that process is kind of tedious. So what we want is that if we can somehow connect to our GitHub and then um, just to turn that into a pipeline that it automatically triggers the deployment and automatically talk to our EC2 server and do everything, that would be really ideal. Okay, we want to automate the whole thing. I already showed a demo in the video on how you do that one with the GitHub Actions. Okay, so they have this one here that you can configure and then you can just connect different steps. But I'm just very curious on how Cursor can help to do the same thing. Okay, so I'll give it a try. Okay, so let's see what they can provide. Okay, again, I didn't test this one. I'm not sure if it can work, but it's just worth to see. Okay, so most of the things we do today, I like you to kind of try that with AI because they will only getting better and better. Okay, so we better know what they can do, what they cannot do. Okay, and then it will be very useful. Okay, so let me make sure. Okay, I record this here. Okay, now I need to configure the GitHub actions to automatically point the whole project to an EC2 instance. Okay, the instance is already created at find my address. Address and the EC2 login, EC2 that user. I have PAM key, please provide the staffs and GitHub action configuration files to enable the auto deployment process. Okay, so let's see what they can provide. Okay, but before you use this one, you should actually try to at least understand how the GitHub action works. Okay, so it's a lot of steps, and then okay, so we're gonna give it a try. Okay, this one, I'm not too confident on how well they can do, but then let's see. But the good thing is that the way they do it is a little bit more professional than what I did. You will see that. Okay, so all right, so that's actually a lot of steps. Okay, let's watch this carefully. And okay, so we need to add the SSH key, holds the GitHub secret. So that's something I do remember. Okay, so let's try this and then go to secrets and variables because we basically need the GitHub to be able to talk um, to the EC2. So they will need our keys. So I think it's called secret and variables. So we go to the actions and add this secret key. So we need SSH private key, secrets. Okay. So that, and then the secret should be my M file, should be this one. Okay. We need an EC2 host. That one is easy. Then we need the username. That way the GitHub repository has the right access, okay, to our server, to this server we created. And now they need to create this GitHub action flow file. This is important that you will need this file so that the GitHub knows how to, yeah, when what to run. So what they do is that they configure different jobs. So the first one deploy. So they're gonna run this on Ubuntu. Well, I do need to configure that it's not an Ubuntu actually. I don't know if that's gonna matter. Okay, and then they actually install the key. Um, they use the private key. That's how they access it. And then they add this one. They do the deployment. They actually have a deployment script. That's also very cool. So that's just a script that they install the Flask and everything. They got this, a lot of Python stuff. They have the requirements thing. That's the one I was worried that, uh, okay. All right, and then they do create that little setup server script. Yeah, that they do actually quite a lot. Okay, so we might want to test this one step by step. Okay, so okay, let's see. Let's try to apply this. Okay, so we're gonna add this file. Let's just apply all the changes. All right, so they add this new setup script. Okay, how you set up this uh, basic environment. Okay, this one remained the same, and then they did add this a deployment script. Okay, so that is to so basically automatically try to trigger everything. Okay, all right. Okay, so I think the way they do it, they pull all the changes from the GitHub, and then to load the code, not to do the SCP. Well, they have the foot images. Okay, yeah, it's actually the looks like it does a good job. Okay, but it's very hard to say whether this is gonna work. Okay, it's probably not that easy. We need to debug a little bit. Okay, so let's try that. Oh, they do have a GitHub Actions. Let's try this one. Maybe they can help us to test it locally. So GitHub Actions. Is there anything we can do and try? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna just push this one first, okay? There are a lot of changes already. Okay, we're gonna push this one first. And then what do you want to do as you start to push? You will see they automatically run this actions. Okay, so because they already detect there is a file called deploy YAML file. They're gonna follow these steps to run the whole process. Okay, and then if we click on this one, let's see if there are any kind of logs we can see. Okay, so that's okay. That's very expected. Okay, so that's gonna be a lot of things. Let's see. Okay, so they set up a job. This part looks like it's okay, and they ran the check call. I think all of these are happening locally. They're not actually getting to the server. And then you install the key, adding the host, and then they start to create this step. Okay. So the first one here is that they're trying to do the $5. There's no this directory. Okay, there's no file or requirements. All right, so we're gonna just let's just show these steps. Okay. Um, this one here, they add a step to check if the directory is there. If not, they're gonna create it. Okay. So let's give it a try. Okay. So a lot of this we gotta be careful. Okay. I first of all, I'm not very confident on this one kind of automatically works. Okay, because it does involve a lot of the configurations. Okay. But at least give us some kind of a starting point to try. And then you can gradually, oh man, this is even worse. Invalid. Which part is invalid? Oh, this one even has syntax. Yeah, that's very bad. What happened? Huh. Yeah, this is very bad. Yeah, see this part here is totally wrong. Okay, so that's not good. There are syntax errors. Please well, this one shouldn't be here. I feel this one is supposed to be here. Let's see. Unit service and install. Let's just keep this ones first. Okay. Here's a new one. Let's click on this one. They're starting a job. Yeah, again, this part is wrong. Yeah. Anyway, so this one, well, as I look at the thing they generated, okay, so that doesn't look very promising. Okay, so this is too much, too much. The steps are overcomplicated. And in this case, it's very hard for us to even debug. Okay, so I would suggest normally, you gotta control the manage the scope. Don't let the AI to do too many things, okay? This GitHub action is too complicated and hard for me to debug. Let's replace everything and start from scratch. and only show me only try to connect to my EC2 and do a simple SCP to copy the files over to prove the EC2 instance can be connected with GitHub actions. We don't need to do anything else. Okay. So let's control the scope. First of all, make sure we can actually even connect it. Okay, so let's see what they do. All right, so this is better again, because when you read this one, as you can see, a lot of things are more uh understandable. Okay, so they check all the code, they install the SSH key, and then they do the connection, and here they do SCP, they just copy the sample file. Very good. So let's try that one. Okay, so I'm gonna take all the changes. Uh, Make sure even the EC2 connection is actually working. Okay, so let's see if any luck here. Okay, deployment number 4. Yeah, so this one looks like it's all working. Okay, let me verify that. Okay, so we go to here. I think they copy the SAP like file over, right? Yeah, see, this is the one they copied. So if I do test, see, hello from GitHub Actions. This is more significant because at least it shows that the whole GitHub action is connected and they can do things on our server side. Okay. So that's one. And then the next step is that because previously they did a lot of this since I would just say that now assume all the Python and Python dependencies have been installed. Please only add one more step in the GitHub actions to either to SCP all the source code to the EC to server. Please put all the files to a new folder at the home directory called like EC2 $5. Please make sure to create this folder if it doesn't exist. Okay, let's just do the SCP step. Okay, and again, try to control it. Let him not to do too much. The first file still remain the same as the test. And then now it's the SCP copy. So you SSH everything, and then you make a folder. And after that, you SCP copy. This one looks actually very clean. Okay. So apply this one, apply the file, and let's try this. All right, so we need one more. Okay, these ones are also successful. So if we go to the server, let's take a look. And they create this EC2 $5. Yeah, so everything is good. Okay, and then we just add one more, and it all works. Now let's add one more step to run the program, the Flask server with I 3 dot py command, and please add other necessary commands or parameters to make the server running more stably. So they are adding another one to start a Flask server. So they're sending a command, and then this command actually, first of all, they kill everything if you already have something running, and then they make a folder for the logs. They go to their, they run a no hold command. Very good. And yeah, and then they even check if the server running. So very professional script. Okay, so I like it. So hopefully this one works. We'll go to here. Okay, so if this one is working, then we're done. Okay, so we'll go to the actions, 7. And then even it doesn't work, at least you know which step caused the issue. Okay, but the previously we generate too much, and then there's no way for us to even debug. Yeah, so this part is wrong. So let's check, see if there are any kind of errors. Okay, so again, this one here is that's a little bit trouble. So um, we actually don't know which one actually caused the problem. Okay, so something is wrong with this step. But I don't know which line cause error. Please improve and debug. All right, so as you can see, the good thing that they're adding this print statement, okay, and then so that we can at least debug it. That's a good change. Look it again. This is the main thing. Okay, so uh, okay, so they're trying to stop existing Flash server. Looks like that part got wrong. Even the first step. Oh, they do the PQ. So we're gonna make sure we actually have that command. That might be the cause. Okay, so let's actually go here to the PQ. Yeah. Wait, so they do have the command. Okay, so the Python is not there anymore. And let's actually try to run this command. Yeah, no existing uh flash process found. So this one should be okay. Why actually stop here? The, yeah, mm, right here. No, this part also getting very bad. They start to do this service file here. Okay, so that's very bad. Okay, so we don't need that. Um, so we don't want. Um, okay, so they're adding a little bit more detailed step to check the process. Okay, so to give us more print. Oh, this time is better. Okay, so yeah, so this one looks like it's working. Okay, they actually ran this one. Okay, let me test if this one is actually running. Um, so we copy this. Yeah, this one now it runs. Okay, fine, food, everything. Okay, so it's let me show you what you can get by doing this one. Okay, it's called a continuous integration. So for example, right now I want to make some changes. Okay, I go to my code and I don't want to call this one as $5 lunch. I want to change the title. Okay, so I want to do for example, here. Okay, I want to change this 5 into 5. Okay, so I'll make a very quick change. So if I do that, I go back to my local, as you can see my change here. I just need to change, I just change this one 5. Okay, all I do is git add, git commit, and then I do push, and then I'll just be waiting. Okay, right now this server is still $5.05. Okay, and then later on you will see that once the GitHub Actions finish the steps, it automatically deploys everything, and then you will have this one. All right, so that is called continuous integration. Okay, so I finally managed running this one. Okay, at the end of class. Okay, but the I combine all of this into one quick demo. I want you to see what we are looking for your project. Okay, but once again, this actually shows you all the more details. Okay, you gotta make sure you go through this one, two, three, and then yeah, so that will clear a lot of other thoughts. Okay, and then as you can see, a very big lesson for today is that break it down. Okay, don't let the cursor to do too many. And as you see, there's something is always going wrong. Let's just terminate it. Okay, and also you can see here another lesson is that they print some more uh, messages that help us to debug. We know at least which part actually is wrong, and then ask them to change different ways to run it. So eventually, we're lucky that today we got this. Okay, so that's what I want to show you today, guys. So this coming week, please really configure and demo deploy this one and configure the continuous integration. I'll probably ask another demo sometime next week or the week after. Okay. All right. Hopefully this one helps. Any questions? Yeah. Yeah, Diana, I'll just do that right after this class. Okay. Let me